Hello, hello. What's up, everybody? My name is Mike Brown, aka ReviewKingMB, and I am still reviewing the Resident Evil movies. This time I am at the 4th installment with Resident Evil Afterlife. This is a 2010 film that is now finally once again directed by Paul W.S. aka Wild Style Anderson. And I've been calling this man Wild Style specifically because of this movie. You watch this film, holy shit. Alright, let's get into the plot. The plot is we see Mila Jovovich as Alice, and at the very beginning of this movie, she takes her clones, like she promised, to go to Tokyo and go after Wesker and try to take down the Umbrella Corporation once and for all. This doesn't quite go the way as planned, as Wesker is this all-powerful being in it of himself. But she then goes to Alaska to try to see if her group from the last movie winded up on that isolated island. But you find out that it was a trick. It was a trap. They were taken. She finds Ali Larter's character, and the two of them go to this remote building in Hollywood that's surrounded by zombies, and they're trying to hide out, they're trying to survive until they see that the real Arcadia, the real safe haven from the apocalypse, is a ship. So now this brand new group are trying desperately to get from their building to that ship out in the ocean. Now, what I thought of Resident Evil Afterlife is, I remember seeing this in the theater. It was in 3D at the time, and I remember at least thinking it was okay. Maybe even liking it. At this point, I don't remember. But every time I watch it on DVD at home, because this movie is all show and no real substance. There's not a whole lot going on story-wise here. It's really just all about the effects and the action and explosions and all of that good stuff. Let's talk about Mila Jovovich as Alice, because she's still good as the character. Say what you want to say about some of the movies, and I'm sure some of the video game fans hate Alice, but I think she plays the part well. She does. And the beginning of the movie where all of her clones, which I guess all of them all dyed their hair black from the last movie to this one. But the clones going to Tokyo and going after Wesker is a pretty damn cool opening scene. Wesker really for the first time full-fledged as a character who is somehow filled with these abilities. They have something to do with the T-virus, but they don't really explain what went into how he is, who he is. And at the very beginning, at the very, very beginning of the movie, he injects her with a needle, takes away her telekinesis powers. And I guess the movie did that just to make Alice normal again, but then you do that, and literally the next shot is the helicopter that Alice and Wesker are on. They crash into the mountains. Wesker, of course, survives because they've established his abilities. Alice, who lost her superpowered abilities, survives the crash. How? I don't know. And here's where the movie kind of devolves into, at least story-wise, stupidity, where she goes to Arcadia in Alaska, and she's looking for her group. They're not there. Claire Redfield, though, played by Ali Larter, is there. And Ali Larter has some device on her chest. Not that I was looking in that specific area, because she really does have something there that's kind of sort of mind-controlling her, takes away her memories, and Alice is trying to help her through this. I do like Ali Larter. I do. I've said that before. She's great. And here, at least, the movie does give her some action stuff to do, some cool action stuff to do. She gets one cool fight scene against this guy who we call the Axeman. Doesn't really have a name besides that. He's this big, huge, giant force of a guy with a burlap sack over his face, and he has this huge axe, and they don't explain where he came from or who he is. I assume he's just another experiment gone wrong, I guess. But the movies are done trying to explain where these creatures come from. They're just here. And she gets a cool fight scene with him in the water, and that's where I have to get this complaint going, where this movie is just a music video. It's an hour and a half or so music video. That fight scene especially, as cool as Ali Larter looks, as cool as the scene that it might look on its own, you're watching this on your TV, not in a theater anymore, not in 3D anymore, which maybe initially was cool, but now it has no rewatchability factor. You're watching it and you're like, okay, all of this action is slowed down. I should almost put it on fast motion just to kind of put it back to normal speed. Wild Style Anderson just has this whole film, like at least half of it, is in slow motion. And again, some moments it's cool, other moments it's just like, okay, can we get the story going here? Can we get some stuff going on here? Like Luther West, played by Boris Kojo, and this is one of the few newer characters that I do like. He's charismatic, he's likable, but also, as far as a character goes, he's a celebrity. You see this billboard up in California of him, and like he's a celebrity. It's one of the few zombie apocalypse type anythings where we get a celebrity, an actor, or just a sports guy, just anybody who it just so happens to be with a surviving group. I like that. Excluding Bill Murray, of course, in Zombieland. Speaking of that, we have a movie producer amongst the new group, Bennett, played by Kim Coates, and this guy is such a fucking dick. And that's the point of him, yes, to be a dick, but it's just he goes the degree level of dickery. Wentworth Miller plays Chris Redfield, Claire's brother, and Chris Redfield, just like Claire, is from the video games, and I remember playing as Chris Redfield in Resident Evil 5. He's a cool character. I think Wentworth Miller, I've never seen Prison Break, but that's where he's most popular from. But his first line of dialogue is, he's in a cage, and he's trying to be let out, and he says, "I know a way out of here," which is kind of hilarious that's his first line. I think he does all right, though, as the character. Not a whole lot for him to do, so maybe hardcore fans are like, what the hell, you bring these characters from the games in here to really just be here and not do anything, because Alice is the one who's moving the plot forward. But I'm okay with it. It's just cool to see them involved in some way anyway. The zombies at this point, there's so many of them. There's herds of them around the building, and they're running fast. I guess they're mutating because like octopus stuff comes out of their mouths and they don't explain it. Again, it's just, it is what it is because it was in the video games. So, okay. Sean Roberts plays Wesker. Wesker, like I said, is the head of Umbrella. He's the guy behind all of this. In the scene at the end, when they finally get to Arcadia, the ship, and they find Wesker, they find out that it was all a trick. And the fight scene that they have with him, where Alice has to go up against zombie dogs once again, but this time their heads split apart. A little creepy. And then Chris and Claire Redfield go up against Wesker, and it turns into the Matrix. It's once again a scene that I'm sure I remember being pretty cool in the theater, but watching it now, it's not only slow motion galore, but it's totally Agent Smith versus Neo. Just all over again. And again, a part of me thinks it's cool, but a part of me thinks, well, we've seen this so many times in the Matrix. Wesker, again, interesting character, but they don't develop him at all, don't explain his true motivations, just besides that he wants to eat Alice and devour her ability to control the T-virus, I guess. The very, very end of the film is interesting. It's a pretty interesting cliffhanger where you get it's going to be a war. They're setting up a war, and we see Jill Valentine back from part 2. It took them damn long enough to bring her back, but she's wearing one of those things on her chest as well, those red spider things. Not that I was looking. Okay, yeah, I was. Before this, I would have said that Afterlife was my least favorite of the franchise, but watching them now, Apocalypse is my least favorite. So this is at least a step above that. It was better than I remembered, but still, not great, not the greatest. Still some interesting stuff in there, still going in a direction. So guys, let me know in the comments below, what do you think of Resident Evil Afterlife? Is there too much slow motion? Is there not enough story going on? Do you like what they did with Chris and Claire Redfield? Thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. Later!
Please won't you save my desire?